We begin tonight with new information about what led to a deadly shooting at a Spokane Valley Safeway over the weekend. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. That suspect is behind bars in North Idaho tonight, awaiting extradition back to Washington to face charges. KREM 2's Regan Gallo has been following these updates. She has more tonight. Regan?
It was in this Safeway parking lot on East Trent Avenue where Spokane County Sheriff's Office say Jonathan Bryman shot and killed a man on Saturday morning. Now the Sheriff's Office arrested Bryman after identifying him and found probable cause to charge him with second-degree murder. Investigations say Bryman was found at a home in Hayden, Idaho. They said he did not fight arrest and was peacefully taken into custody. The Sheriff's Office believes he shot the victim, William McCrate, in the parking lot around 6:15 a.m. Saturday morning. It is believed Bryman pulled out a handgun and shot McCrate before he could run away, possibly as part of a drug deal. Despite life-saving efforts made by local firefighters, McCrate was pronounced dead at the scene. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office also said that they had grounds to charge Bryman as fugitive from justice since he fled across state lines to Idaho. He remains in custody pending extradition back to Washington state to face charges. In Spokane Valley, Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
Also just into our newsroom tonight, Spokane police are confirming a middle school student has been arrested for bringing a gun to school today.
It happened at Shaw Middle School just before noon today. According to Spokane police, another student contacted school staff saying the boy showed him the gun but told him not to say anything. That's when staff called 911. School resource officers quickly found the student and took his backpack away. And that's when police say that boy ran from campus. Police say officers found a loaded handgun in his backpack, and that boy was arrested a short time later and booked into the juvenile detention center. Police say the student who reported the gun did the right thing by coming forward.
And tonight, in our effort to bring you more to every story, we're looking into how schools are responding to student threats. In North Idaho, Coeur d'Alene Public Schools now currently considering updating a policy.
We compared that new plan to Spokane and found they are very similar. KREM 2's chief journalist Amanda Rowley explains.
Coeur d'Alene's new student threat assessment policy simply puts into writing what the school district has been doing already for the last few years. Coeur d'Alene Public Schools believes it may be the first school district in Idaho to codify a policy like this. The student threat assessment policy before the Coeur d'Alene School Board is a process used to determine if a student threat is credible.
The biggest reassurance is that we take everything seriously until we know what it is we're dealing with.
Thomas Gandy is the school district's safety and security coordinator. He says they are putting this policy in writing to be transparent with the public about safety practices already in place.
We want them to understand the steps we're taking, the things we have in place to make sure that we vet those threats and that they are safe to send their students to school.
When a threat assessment has been warranted, the policy says a team of school professionals may interview the student who made the threat, witnesses, parent guardians, or staff. The policy says this may help determine the level of risk associated with the threat and develop an appropriate response to the incident. If the student responsible for the threat doesn't participate in the interview and assessment, the policy says they could face additional disciplinary action, including expulsion.
Us handling this now, it really puts us on the forefront, and it puts us in the lead for making sure that as these programs become required and become codified, that we already have plans in place.
Spokane Public Schools has a similar policy in place. It includes a threat assessment team that can be comprised of counselors, security supervisor, and school administrators. The team will assess and identify the behavior of the student who made the threat, conduct interviews, determine the severity of the threat, and how to best respond to it. Suspension and expulsion are potential disciplinary actions, but SPS says just because a threat assessment is initiated, that does not by itself necessitate taking those actions. The school board is expected to take public comment on this new policy at its meeting next month. In Coeur d'Alene, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, taking a live look outside right now. Another warm fall day across the region, but we are tracking much cooler and rainier days ahead.
Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo right now is tracking a cold front headed this way.
And it's imminent at this point in time. We knew it was coming all week long, and our temperatures are still on the mild side of things. We sit at 68 degrees here in town, and we are likely going to stay nice and mild even though we move through the rest of the day. Here's where we topped out a little bit earlier in Spokane. We made it into the 70s, 74 degrees earlier today. Oh wait, no, this is Monday. How did it become Monday? I don't know. All right, let's move on. We did make it into the 70s here in Spokane, but there's the cold front. It sits a little bit farther out to the west, and as that cold front makes its way in, we are eventually going to watch our temperatures take a dive. There it is, moving its way over the Cascades. It's getting kind of hung up. Mainly, we don't have a forcing mechanism to get that thing to move from west to east a little bit faster. So you're going to encounter rain if you're heading to the west side. If you wait another few hours, we'll start to see that rain move in here. It starts overnight and takes us into a wet Wednesday morning. By tomorrow afternoon, it's back to scattered showers across the region as wind gets a bit breezy. Think gusts around 20, maybe 30 miles per hour, and a high temperature near 60. 53 on Thursday, 54 on Friday as we dry back out. We are staying in the 50s in the extended forecast. It's just going to be that kind of cool.
All right, Jeremy, thank you.